Would you believe that I did this makeup look using a predominantly pastel palette? I didn't think so. Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Skye, and today we are revisiting one of my favorite videos to do. I am going to be showing you all of the makeup products that I've hit pan in. I fucking love seeing used makeup, like heavily used, like filthy, disheveled, disgusting products. Now, I love looking at products that are nice, clean, pristine, all of that, but there's something about seeing such a used product that fills me with so much joy, because you can just see the love that someone has put into that. And I'm all about using what you have. As much as the parasites in my brain tell me to purchase more, this is why I'm on a low buy. I love using what I've got. So we're gonna go through and talk about things I've hit pan on. Some of these are new pans since the last video. Others are some interesting updates. Now, the first product that I was saving until I did this video is my favorite bronzer ever, the Nabla Skin Bronzing Bronzer. It's fucking gone. Now, this product is a baked gelée product, and it originally has like a waffle pan, but as you can see, I took that shit out. I used so much of it that all I had left was some stuff on the corners, so I very carefully, with some tweezers, and like I heated it up with a hairdryer as well. It was a whole thing. I peeled off the waffle pan because it was kind of like a plasticky kind. I emptied the product on a paper towel afterwards, chopped up, and then repressed it back in here, and it only lasted for like 2 uses, 3 uses even. I have since repurchased this bronzer. I absolutely love it. It's got a beautiful natural finish. If you have a light olive skin tone like me, it has the nicest ochre yellow undertone to it with a, like, it's just perfect. It's a dupe of the Becca Barley Sands bronzer, which was my absolute favorite for years and years. I actually finished a couple of those as well. But this is an indie version, a bit cheaper, and it's still available. I love it! And now I can finally recycle this packaging, because this is actually like pretty sturdy packaging. Like, even though it's plastic, like the hinge is obviously a bit looser compared to what it is like fairly new, but it has never broken on me. The packaging on these Nabla products, really good. We're gonna talk about blushes now. So, a couple of updates on my super old, I think these are the oldest blushes in my collection now. These are the Clionadh Lo-Fi Blush Duos. These have long been discontinued. I got these in PR fucking years ago. I feel like I got them in 2018. Maybe 2019. Let's talk about the lesser exciting of the 2 updates. So this is Lo-Fi Peach. As we can see, I've expanded the pan on this one a little bit more. I do like the shimmery side on this one a lot more than the like shimmery side in the other duo. The other duo is more of a highlighter. But this is a lovely blush duo. I really, really want to finish this by the end of the year. But as we can, it's taken me 5 years to like even get close. But I would really like to pan this because it's so old, and I want to be able to like have another blush done in my collection, you know? I think I've only ever used up like 2 blushes in my lifetime. Well, I've actually used up 3 blushes. This is Lo-Fi Rose, and shit, there's still product in here. I can't exactly hold this up without it all spilling out, but that's what I have left. Fucking love this blush. It is the most beautiful pale pink, cool toned pink, and I think the reason why I've used it up essentially is because it's the coolest tone blush in my collection, and it's pale but still has a lot of colour to it. I'm gonna use a bit of this product to swatch it on my hand. I'm not gonna swatch everything in this video, but that's what Lo-Fi Rose looks like. And I actually bought a blush that people said was a good dupe of it. Clionadh came out with these like uterus looking blushes. This is the Mono Blush in Pale Rose, and I bought this to be a dupe for Lo-Fi Rose because I can't go without this one. It is my go-to cool toned blush. And this, I'm not gonna lie, it's not the same. Pale Rose is a lot more pale than I would like, and I knew that going into it. Like, I've seen swatches of it and I was like, okay, I know it's gonna be light, but I think I can like build it up on my cheeks. That is Pale Rose, and then that is Lo-Fi Rose. Do you see what I mean? It just doesn't have the same sustenance to it. But Pale Rose is nice if you want a really, really, really subtle cool tone blush, but I have to layer a lot of this on. It's just not the same as Lo-Fi Rose. The other shade in the duo is not my favourite. I mean, it's a nice like pinky gold highlighter, but I don't use it. The matte blush was the standout. This next blush I won't harp on for too long because I have mentioned it in the previous video, but this is the Lethal Cosmetics blush in Nectar. This is one of my favourite blushes. The formula of these are super fragile and powdery. I would not recommend travelling with this, and you have to be very careful with it because you can really disturb the pan. They're extremely soft matte, like pigmented blushes, and despite them being super pigmented, yeah, I've used a lot. Another favourite that I use all the time in my videos is from CoverFX. This is the Monochromatic blush duo in Soft Peach. Now, I didn't clean any of my makeup products before this video, and you can tell, look at how fucking filthy this thing is. I haven't seen many people actually hit pan on these CoverFX blushes, but like, oh, as you can tell, I'm a matte blush girly pop. Like, I like the shimmery side in this for layering on top, but I tend to prefer matte blushes, I'll be honest with you. Because this is a really pale peach blush, I use a lot of this. I think we can tell the blushes that are like pigmented but they are very light, I tend to pile them on. Like this one I use to set a lot of blushes. I'm actually wearing this in combination with the Glaminatrix liquid blush in the shade Sunny. And these two are, I mean, you can tell, this is just a powder version of Sunny. They're a great fucking combination together. They are wonderful. I'd recommend these blushes on a sale. They are not worth the full price. They're quite expensive, but I love my little soap bars. I just want to go, I just want to... Moving on. A couple highlighters. This one I don't use too often, but it's a goodie. It is the Kaleidos Diamond Dasher highlighter. I got this in PR years ago. It's got the tiniest pan. Like, I don't really... Can we count that? Yeah, we can count it as a pan. You can see it. This is a super sparkly, peachy pink, like, glittery highlighter. It's really lovely, especially with like warmer blushes. I need to wear this again. I think in the summer, I'm gonna eat this shit up. No. I'm feeling feral today. To be honest, I don't really hit pan and highlighters much anymore. I used to back in the day when I would douse my face in highlighter, but now I just use eyeshadows as highlighter, which you'll see when we get to the eyeshadow portion of this. But a highlighter that I do actively reach for quite a bit is the Lottie London Diamond Bounce highlighter in Frosted. This is like a Colourpop Super Shock formula. It's very putty and like glittery. It is essentially the same as the Fenty Beauty Diamond Bomb highlighter. I've swatched that in store and it essentially looks just like the Lottie London one, and the Lottie London one is like half the price. I did get this in PR, but I would totally buy this, like 100%. It just gives the most beautiful like silver glitter. It's wonderful. I love using this on my inner corners. I love patting it on top when I have like cooler toned blushes. It just like, look at that. And this one also has like a bit of a ridged pan. I feel like that's to make sure that the formula actually stays put in there. But like, it's kind of cool. Look at that. Oh, you can see the sparkle out of focus. Pretty! Let's move on to the eye products. I don't have any lip products to talk about because most lip products aren't in pan format. They're just not. My nose is really itchy. Can you stop? Stop it. I don't want to touch the pit out. I don't want to... I'm in the itchy stage of the healing process and it's... But anyway, so the first eye product we're going to talk about is the only eyeliner, and this one is really bittersweet because this brand recently announced that they are closing its doors. They're probably like completely closed by the time I upload this video, but this just, it makes me so happy. This is the Suva Beauty Hydra FX liner in Space Panda. The packaging is so cracked. I tend to do a thing where I'm a little bit rough with the things that I own. If it's somebody else's stuff, I'm very gentle. With my own shit, oh, I'm tossing that. Whenever I close things, I like to make sure it's closed really tight, and because of that, I tend to crack the packaging. Do I ever learn? No. And I actually tried to clean up this product to show you guys because it was mixed in with so many other colours. But this is Space Panda. As you can see, look at how severe that is. And this is like a wet liner. How many people have this big of like a gouge in their wet liners? I have had this for years. Years. I actually don't remember when I bought this. I think oh, actually, I think 2018? Oh, this is old. Oh dear. I think I got this before I got my cats. Or around the time I got my cats. But anyway, every single fucking time I do white graphic liner details, or I need to make a colour lighter, anything, I use this eyeliner. It doesn't really crack unless like you make it too thick, but I find that most graphic liner, like wet liner formulas do that. And Suva was the first brand that I ever saw that did these kind of like pot liners. And Suva was the first brand I ever bought from, like in terms of like colourful makeup. And I remember when I bought these, like I bought the primary colours, I was very like excited because I was like, wow, I can draw so much stuff on my face, and I still do. Like I still use this for white details. All the little like white dots that I added in my makeup looks, it's always this product. I have so much love for Suva Beauty, and I am devastated that they're closing their doors. Like, it makes me sad, but Suva, you live on. It's me all mushy, but yeah, seeing how disheveled this looks makes me hold it close to my heart. Oh, it's now down my top. I'll keep you there. First, we have two Colourpop Super Shock shadows. Now, I don't support Colourpop anymore. I don't really like the way that they do things. I feel like they're essentially the fast fashion of makeup, quantity over quality, and also like their licensed collab with J.K. Rowling. It's a big ick for me, and I did used to be on their PR list, but I finally got taken off after many, many emails. But I'm gonna be so fucking honest with you right now. As much as I dislike Colourpop and all of that stuff, some of their products are fucking banging. Like their Super Shock formula, like their Super Shock cheek highlights. They're really fucking good. I can't lie to you. I have the shades Frog and Ritz. Frog was a gift from a friend and Ritz was sent in PR, and as you can see, they're both like the same sort of energy. Frog is like a pinky, like baby pink with silver and blue and pink sparkle. Ritz is essentially like the neutral sibling, and it has like a warm taupe base with silver sparkle in it. These are stunning eyeshadow toppers, and anytime like I have gone traveling, anytime I go to Greg's place, I always have these in my makeup bag because they're just really fucking easy to put on and finger paint on. They're just easy eyeshadows. If you guys know of any brands other than Colourpop that do this formula in this kind of pot format, please let me know because I would love to try them. And when these run out, if I don't have an alternative, I will buy them again. They are really important products in my collection. Alright, we'll move on to single pan eyeshadows now. So I have organized them into two different categories. So we have iridescent eyeshadows and everything else. Also a friendly disclaimer, my single shadow palettes are the things that get filthiest the fastest. I don't know how any of y'all like take really aesthetic pictures of like your super clean single shadow palettes, especially with like flakier indie single shadows. No. I don't know how you do it. Now there's a trend with the types of single shadows that I hit pan on. Are we surprised? They are all iridescents. I do have three other shadows to talk about that aren't iridescents, but these are the main shadows that I have hit pan in. They are all beautiful iridescent sparkly shadows. The ones at the bottom here, these four, are from Terra Moons. These ones here are from the Davina Sugar Drops collection. That collection consists of 9 eyeshadows and I've hit pan in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. I really like the Davina Sugar Drops shadows. They're really sparkly, very duochrome-y. The Terra Moons ones are a lot shiftier. This one right here is my favourite iridescent at the moment. This is Ice Blink from the Shine Bay SD and Seeking Shifts Earthborn collection. It has the spiciest orange and blue sparkle to it with lots of silver, and you can just see all of these. They're stunning. I also really love Zero Gravity from Terra Moons as a highlighter. This is Red Giant, this is Space Baby, and I believe this one is Lightyear. Yeah, Lightyear. I'm not gonna name the Davina Sugar Drops ones, but these are all like the Davina ones. All right here. I love Red Giant so much as a highlight as well, and I believe they've actually reformulated this one to be more like Ray from Clionadh, and it's even more like red and bold, and I am motivated to finish Red Giant just so I can buy the new one, because if it's a better formula and I already like this red shifting iridescent beautifulness, I want the better version if it's already really good. I constantly use these as highlighters on my cheeks. Like, it's the reason why I have stopped buying highlighters for the most part, because I'm just like, why would I need to if I've got all of the highlighters I could ever need? Let me talk about the other single shadows that I've hit pan in. So this one is from Glam Shop, and it's the shade Banana Cream. It is just a yellow matte. A yellow matte eyeshadow. Glam Shop is another brand that I don't like to buy from, purely because I don't believe they're very inclusive at all, even though they are very accessible if you live in the UK and the EU. And their formulas are banging, I will say that as well. They are fucking banging. And the matte formula especially, these are so fucking powdery. Like, you will get fallout on your face if you use them. And for me, that's not the biggest deal. Like, I don't really give a fuck about fallout anymore. But like, if you do not like powdery eyeshadows, do not go for these. They are so fucking powdery. They're very akin to, like, I never tried the Subculture by ABH back in the day, but I feel like everyone's complaints about that palette is Glam Shop's formula. That is the main reason why I've hit pan on it so quickly. Now the other two shadows are from Clionadh, and Clionadh's eyeshadows are fucking brilliant. I would buy from Clionadh a lot more if I didn't get like shipping and taxed on them. The customs charges for Clionadh are through the fucking roof. They are ridiculous. But these two shadows are a couple of my favorites in my collection, and I would probably definitely repurchase if I ever finished them. The first one is Heirloom right here. The pan is so itty bitty ditty, but this is a beautiful blue toned emerald green with a gold shine in it. This was like the only solid green, like metallic I had in my collection before I got Terra Moon's Radiation. And even then, I absolutely love it. I mean, you can see like the fucking dip that I have because I always apply this with my finger. And green eyeshadows are just my muse. I love green. Green is my baby. It's my beloved. It's everything to me. And especially with like my hair color, like any like person with ginger hair or like dyed ginger like me, green just works perfectly with you. And my favorite Clionadh shadow by far, like this is my number one, and I believe it is the most underrated Clionadh shadow, and I have screamed about this shadow for years and years and years and years and years. It's Glazed. Do you see that pan? It is stunning. This is one of their glitter multi-chromes. Heirloom, I believe, is a vibrant? I think it's a vibrant one. But Glazed is a gorgeous lavender with a pink gold shine. Now a gold sheen, I'm a big whore for. I'm a big fucking whore. And this eyeshadow just looks incredible with neutrals, with like pastel looks. As an inner corner, this is such a unique tone of shadow. I haven't found anything that quite compares to Glazed. It is so, like, it stands on its own so much. The only thing I've found somewhat similar, at least in my collection, is from the Lunar Beauty Moonspell palette, the original, the shade Prue, the one in the top left corner. And avid viewers of my channel would know that this is actually a shadow that's currently in my single shadow project pan, and one of the iridescents that I showed, Ice Blink, that's also in my project pan. So mini update before the video comes out, I have hit pan. This is Glazed. Videos and photos cannot show just how fucking magnificent it is. You can see the pink purple there and then the gold. It is it's just so transformative on the eyes. Truly, next time you place a Clionadh order, I heavily encourage you to include Glaze in your cart because it is wonderful. I have such a love affair with this shadow for years. I remember even when I bought it in my first ever Clionadh order, I added it in because I was like, oh, it looks pretty, I'll have it. Like, but I didn't expect to love it as much as I did, and that's one of the many reasons why I love it. Rightio, we're moving on to my stack of palettes I would show you, but that's spoilers. So let's move on to, let's just go in ascending order, shall we? First we have the Sugar Pill Fun Size palette, this little cutie patootie. Oh, I love this palette. And I've hit pan in Twitch right here, which is a very light green. I don't think I've seen many people hit pan in this palette either. Do let me know, I want to know, if you have this palette, have you hit pan in it? Because this shadow formula is really firmly pressed. Like, a little bit ridiculously firmly pressed. I love this palette. I still continue to reach into it anytime I want like some pastel-y rainbowy colours. I love the tones in here. It's very buildable, and you need to use quite a bit of this colour to get it to like have its full opacity, but I've done so many looks where I've just used this shade with like some single shadows, and I love it. I love this green shade. It's one of the most unique tones of green. I have nothing like this in my collection. Next is a lovely travel palette from Nabla. This is the Cutie palette Coral, and I have hit pan in the shade Mandarin. This is a lovely peachy, like silver sparkly shade. I love using this again as kind of like the Colourpop Super Shocks as a one shadow look. I have done like maybe like a liner with this and then popped this all over the lid, and it just looks gorgeous. It's one of those palettes where I kind of do the same like 2 or 3 looks every time I dip into it, but anytime I am craving something simple and straightforward and I know the result is always going to be nice and easy and simple, this palette comes in clutch. Next is one of my favourite palettes in my collection. I have a lot of favourites. Like, it is truly hard for me to like give you a pinpoint of like the best palettes, because like all the palettes that I have I really love for different reasons. This one is no exception. I talk ad nauseum about Geology Cosmetics. This is the Pilbara palette, their first launch. I got this one in PR, and I've actually hit pan in 2 shades now. Hit pan in the Iridescent Starry Sky, of course, because it's me. No shit. And I've also hit pan in Spinifex, which is like the brown green blue kind of duochrome shade. I love layering these shades on top of each other. They work so lovely, and I am close to hitting pan on Hammersley and Biff. Like, these two, I don't think you're gonna see it. You can kind of on camera right there. Like, they've got quite considerate dips in them. But these pans are deceptively deep. Like, for such a tiny little, like, curated little palette, they give you a fuck ton of product. I love this palette. Again, another quick and easy palette, especially if you have like a light olive skin tone and like ginger hair, which is a very specific brief. But I find that this palette just, like, this is my color palette. I did do one of those color analyzers on the internet, which is 100% accurate. It's probably bullshit, but I should really get my color analysis done. But I don't want to pay money for it. I have other priorities. But, according to the websites, I am a warm autumn, so... And this is just a warm autumn colour scheme. Like, it just works with me. Next, from Fantasy Cosmetica, we have the Sorcerer palette. This is their old packaging. I got this in PR. And I really want to buy, like, their palettes again in their newer packaging, because also it's magnetized, but, like, it feels a bit silly buying a palette that I already own again, just for the packaging. It feels a bit silly. But we've hit pan in 3 shadows in this one, and yeah. I was gonna say, can we guess, but you can fucking see. Like, there's no point guessing. So I've hit pan in Firestorm, Arcane, and Polymorph. Those shadows, Arcane's like quite a tiny pan. Like, it's very small, but it's right there. These shadows are a very moist, squishy, like, putty formula. Like, wet. They're very malleable. Like, you can, like, smush your finger in there and really dent it. I wouldn't recommend doing that, because now I've taken up a lot of product and disturbed the pan quite a bit, but we move. But essentially, because they're a Super Shock shadow in like this format, I reach for them all the fucking time, and these shades are just gorgeous. Especially Polymorph is like the most unique. It has like a nice like teal base with like a warm green emerald and then a pink purple shine to it. It is wonderful. I do so many looks where I base it solely around this shade. Arcane is a beautiful, like, sparkly, pinky, like, purpley, bluey, silvery layering shade, and Firestorm is just the hot pink I go to, like, shimmer. They're just brilliant. I would totally buy these as, like, solo single shadows. I think they do actually sell them as single shadows, but this is my favourite Fantasy Cosmetica palette. It is so punchy and vibrant. Next palette we have to mention, oh, this one makes me feel warm and fuzzy. It makes me think of the first Valentine's Day Greg and I spent together, because I ordered this on Valentine's Day. This is the Auden's Eye and Makeup Just for Fun Flora Story palette. I don't think this is available anymore, but this one's also really messy. I'm sorry. But I've hit pan in this shade Dawn, which is an iridescent shade. It's a very pretty iridescent multi-chrome. It's kind of like Prophecy from Clionadh, like their highlighter. It's like warm orange, yellow, and it has like green as well, lime. For some reason I really like focusing in the corners of this palette. I also am close to hitting pan on Moss. Are you Moss? No, Misty. Misty is close on hitting pan too. Like, I love that green sparkly shade. This palette is just a beautiful sage muted colour story. It's so different, especially if you love greens. Like, this is a must-have if you love greens with like a hint of like muted purple. Alright, the final two palettes, the penultimate one, of course, we have to talk about a Glaminatrix palette. I don't need to talk about how much I love Glaminatrix. I actually purchased this one myself because the PR got lost in international mail, but this is the Sugar and Spice palette, and the shade I've hit pan on is fairly recent, and it is Basil, my boy Basil Brush. Actually, like, not even anything close to Basil Brush. I'll put a picture of Basil Brush right here if you don't know him. What an icon. What a king. Maybe I look a bit like Basil Brush. I feel like that's kind of my vibe. I also low-key had a crush on him when I was younger. Anyway, back to the eyeshadow. Basil is just a beautiful, like, neutral taupe with a blue shine. Simple, but effective. I feel like a lot of palettes have this shade, and I understand why, because it's fucking... It's poppin' its pussy, man. It's fucking brilliant. Again, really easy to just throw on all over your lid, really easy in a corner highlight. This shade actually is like the same kind of vibes as Glazed, but not as Slay. It's pretty, don't get me wrong, but Glazed is just a bit more special. This is lavender. Like, it doesn't have the same, like, texture and gold shift to it. Sugar and Spice is one of my favourite Glaminatrix palettes. It's hard to say because I have so many and I use them all the time, but this one, I constantly reach into it. I fucking love it. I dip into it mainly for like the neutrals and Basil and like these multi-chromes at the top. I actually don't really use the colourful shades in here that much. There's kind of a theme of the shades that I hit pan in, isn't there? Because shimmer formulas are just softer in it. Like, they're just easier to use more of. And speaking of matte formulas, the last shadow we have to talk about is actually a matte shadow from the Blend Bunny Lure palette. And this one was such an unexpected pan, and I firmly believe this pan wouldn't have happened if I didn't do a very specific look. I'll show you. It's the shade Tentacles right here, and tentacles kind of freak me out. I'm not gonna lie to you. They're scary. They make me, they give me the ick. They're just, brother. But Tentacles right here is a beautiful, warm, deep purple. It's Blend Bunny matte formula, my favourite. I'm also quite close to hitting pan on this purple shade. What's it called? Charmed. I like purples. I didn't really realise how much I liked purples. Anyway, get to the point, Skye. I'm so sorry. I've been recording for an hour! This shade I have only hit pan in because I tried to do the, like, avatar makeup, but I wanted to make my avatar purple. Now, I did a whole reel of it. I took pictures, However, I fucking hated how the pictures turned out. I used my Made by Mitchell color case, like, for my base, and it was... Those color cases, like, I'll show you actually. These color cases are great. I really do like them. I still need to play around with it a bit more. But these are really good, like, cosmetic paints, but not for the full face. At least not the way that I did it. I think because I used it for the first time and I decided to do a fucking full face paint and, like, top half, it wasn't great. It was quite patchy and it just didn't look good. Can I put this back in properly without fumbling the bag? I do have one picture that I kind of like. I'll put it right here. I still don't like how this avatar makeup came out. I do want to try it again, but with, like, I want to try, like, a colourful foundation from Sunset Makeup. I do actually need to buy a couple because I'm doing a couple of makeup gigs that require colourful foundation. But considering that's, like, my first proper full face, like, and body kind of paint, I wouldn't say it's the worst, but it's not to my standard. And I use Lure as the shading for that, and I used a shit ton of tentacles, and when I hit pan I was like, oh shit, oh, I didn't expect that. I was using a lot of it, mind you. I was using so much of it. So if it weren't for that avatar look, this pan wouldn't have been born. A pan was born. But anyways, after 1 hour of recording, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I really hope that you had a snack while watching this video because it was long. Do you let me know, what have you hit pan in recently? What are your favorite, maybe, ooh, no. What was the most unexpected pan for you? Because mine, Blend Bunny Lure. As much as I love this, didn't think I'd hit pan in it so fast. If you'd like to see more makeup content from me, you can follow me on my Instagram. It's faerie.skye right here. I post all my looks there and I'm active on there every single day, except when I am playing Stardew for 8 hours straight like I have been the past few days. Sorry. If you'd like to support me further, I do have my own small business, Raincloud Candles Co. We're a small queer-owned business based in the UK and we make handmade candles and wax melts. I can't show you well from this angle. The link to shop will be down below, along with our social media if you'd like to support us. And we have a collection coming out. We have a spring collection coming out on the 28th of April. So mark your calendars, the April Showers Spring Duo will be coming. Mark your calendars, it's coming out on Sunday the 28th. Yeah, I'm really excited for it. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I'd love to have you here. And as always, stay safe, wash your hands, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!